Good morning, YouTube.
Okay, studio. All right, Lagos, it is gone past 6:30. This is your Love Music, Love Life station. And of course, on Smooth Breakfast, it is time for Business Express. We've got Rotus with us. Good morning, Rotus.
Good morning, Sope. Good morning to all our listeners out there. Good to be with you all on this hump of the week.
All right, now, Rotus, we have a ton of stuff happening. Should we just jump right in? Oh, do remember that we are streaming live up on youtube.com/smooth981FM Lagos. And we would also love to get your thoughts on that platform. And we'd love to get your thoughts on WhatsApp 0809 444 981.
All right, thank you so much. So first of all, the Nigerian Labour Congress is having some meetings this month, the 20th, the 21st, and the 22nd. They want to decide on what to do, whether to follow in the footsteps of the Trade Union Congress, the TUC, on taking industrial action against the planned subsidy removal for this this year. So the Trade Union Congress, the Nigerian Labour Congress has decided, I think they're going to have strikes on the 21st of January and February the 1st. In order to protest the planned removal of subsidy, which is supposed to happen, I think, in June or so. Zainab Ahmed, Minister of Finance, says it's going to happen. We'll have to see whether it does happen. And so a liter of petrol is estimated to be about 340, 350 naira per liter if they go through and remove it.
Excuse me? How are we?
Yeah, well, we'll have to see where oil prices are at that time. That's what they're estimating. So the Labour Congress, NLC, is saying they are going to go ahead and strike all over the country. TUC says, well, we want to have a few more meetings and then we'll decide what to do. It's not just on fuel subsidies that they want to take action. It's also on electricity tariffs and so on. So we have to see what happens, and if, because they're supposed to be having, the labor unions are supposed to be having meetings with the federal government, dialogue on what to do about the fuel subsidies. But last update we had was the unions were saying that the refineries had to be fixed first before the federal government can remove subsidies on petrol. But it's going
Which makes us less dependent on price
refined fuel.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's going to take a long time. I mean, the rehabilitation of just one of the refineries, I think the Port Harcourt refinery, it's going to take like 48 months or so. So it's going to take a really, really long time before that happens. So it's just not practical to keep subsidies between now and 48 months from now until you're able to now remove, until you're not able to stop paying subsidies. It's just going to take too long of time. So they have to take it off now. We tried to do this in 2012. There were industrial actions that stopped President Jonathan of Nigeria from removing subsidies. And so it's still the same old story. But the issue is that what we're paying to subsidize fuel is a lot. It's hitting the trillion naira mark annually. So anyway, we're waiting to see what TUC decides. Interesting that
I guess there'll be a lot. I guess there'll be a lot of new conversations about income and having salary increases.
Yeah, there will. But look, Nigeria is borrowing more money as we speak to fund the deficits in our budget. I just can't see how these talks go anywhere. They've just been kicking the can down the road. Action should have been taken ages ago, but Labour has been holding the feet of the government to the fire, not allowing them to do so. Will this finally happen? I'm not too sure. I mean, I'm a little skeptical. We'll have to see. June is not far away. It's only about 6 months from now. So we'll see what happens when that time comes. From there to education, the British government, the British Immigration Service, was just releasing some data on the countries that have the highest student visa issuances, or the countries who have the highest visas that have been granted for sponsored study. Nigeria saw the highest increase between September 2019 and September 2021, a 368% increase. I think we're at about 36,783 as of September 2021.
My goodness.
Compared to Pakistan, that had a 225% increase, India 197, China 13, US 33%. India and Nigeria made up the majority of visa applications to the UK. The other side of this is that for every increase in visa applications to go and study in the UK, that's foreign exchange that's going out of the country, because you've got to pay in foreign exchange in order to, sponsor students overseas. And I think Nairametrics did a study over the last 10 years or so, in which about, I think it was the figure of either 18 or $30 billion that have gone out of Nigeria to sponsor study abroad. It's kind of the same argument with the medical tourism thing, where our medical facilities, even President Buhari keeps going overseas to the UK to go and get healthcare. A lot of Nigerians are going to India, going to the United States, going to the UK.
Turkey.
Turkey, so it's still these figures still show that, because look, India, their numbers are increasing as well. A lot of Indians, go overseas to study, but then there's such a large population, over 1 billion people. United States, yeah, but then they also have a good education system. That's why their numbers are so low. So, it's with these figures continuing to increase, it just shows that there's still a lot of development that needs to take place to our own education facilities here to try to limit or disincentivize people from going overseas. In the 60s and the 70s, Obafemi Awolowo University, we have some of the best universities with teachers, lecturers from all over the world that were teaching, but things have just regressed. So these figures, these immigration numbers, there was a Pew Research poll done in 2018, whereby I think Pew found that 45% of Nigerian adults plan to emigrate over the next 5 years. So there's still people who plan on, people are essentially, Nigerians are voting with their feet, and planning to leave the country. If you look at, applications to go move to Canada and other countries like that, they're trying to find a better future for themselves. So the numbers, the numbers show that essentially with what we're seeing.
Although I have seen a trend that we're seeing some entrepreneurially minded Nigerians coming back into the country, though.
Yes, they are coming back, but the rate at which they're coming back is dwarfed by the rate at which they're leaving.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
so brain, if you do the mathematics for brain gain minus brain drain, it's still in the negatives. Gotcha.
You're losing your best and brightest to other countries whose labor force they are benefiting. So, Nigerians make up some of the best doctors in the world, but are those doctors practicing here? They're not practicing in other countries. Hospitals. Hospitals here in Nigeria will tell you that it's an issue in trying to import machinery that you'll need in order to practice what it is they do for surgeries and so on, because there's issue with someone's getting it in here, costs and so on and so forth. So there's a lot to unpack from these figures when you see this number of people that are heading out of the country.
All right, we've got a couple of minutes left on the show. So I know I see another article that came in, and this is the best performing central bank governors in Africa. Do we have enough time to talk about that?
Yeah. Very, very quickly. Morocco and the central bank governor of Morocco, Abdelatif Jouari, and the central bank governor of Egypt, Tarek Amer, were in the top 10 central bank governors for 2021. This is a ranking that's been carried out by Global Finance. They've been doing it since 1994. They were given a grade A. Nigeria wasn't in the top 10. Governor Mefele, the governor, was graded a C. But if you look at the metrics that they used to rank the central bank governors, I think they used inflation. They used currency exchange rates with the US dollar. Some of those things are out of the hands of our own central bank governor here. Take inflation, for instance. Morocco and Egypt, they have relatively lower inflation compared to Nigeria, but the central bank has a mandate to keep inflation low, but it's being by the fiscal side. An example with inflation, in late 2019, the fiscal side decided to shut the land borders because they said they wanted to stop smuggling. Whether or not that really worked is up to, people have to check prices of foodstuff to see whether that works. Inflation accelerated. So if you are a central bank and you have a mandate to keep inflation down, and you're on the monetary side, the fiscal side, however, is doing things and making decisions that make your job almost impossible to carry out. That kind of thing will hamper the ranking of our own central bank. But also, what the exchange rate issues, unfortunately, when it comes to exchange rate earnings, we still depend only on oil. And we've got a Ministry of Trade Investments. We've got a ministry of, other ministries that are supposed to bring in more foreign exchange into this country that the central bank can manage. So if the central bank is managing funds that are not coming in as much as they should, and you have a fiscal side that is not diversifying your income streams, then what are you going to do? So he could have ranked up, Gordon Meffler could have ranked much higher, but he has some fiscal strengths, which are not of his own making, unfortunately. He just has to work with what he has.
I'm glad that you put that in because we've got a couple of messages which I'll take right before we go off. Because Sean said was set up on WhatsApp. Was Emefiele graded a C because there was no F? But you've already answered that question. And Yikabalu says, Shaba, let's go first though. And then later we'll see if we come back. Just try me with the Canada visa, says Yinka. And he says, all these folks rating people up and down, they're the ones causing problems and apprehension all around. What can the CBN governor do about all of those factors? Nothing.
Exactly. See, what can he do?
And on that note, we've got to close down Business Express, but you will be back tomorrow. So look forward to that at 6:30. And of course, you can go up on youtube.com/smooth981 FM Lagos to catch the replay of the show. Thank you so much, Rotus.
Thank you, Sope.
Okay, Lagos, coming up, we've got great music for you and Freshly Pressed at 7:30. Transaction solutions. You can